Hi everybody, I didn't realise I was live just now. Welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. I'm not prepared at all today because I wasn't going to go live. We've got the estate agents coming round, the last of many, coming round today to value the property. So I'm not prepared at all. So I'm just going to see if we're live just now. Bear with me a wee second, I need my coffee, I need to bring it through. One sec. Not professional at all, I know. Right, this is this is not going to be one of the most professional videos ever, but at least I'm on. I wasn't going to go live, but now we're here. Okay, I'll just see if everything's up and running. Just now, I think we are. I've not even done my hair or anything. Right, okay. We're live. We're live. Rob UK, welcome. One of our brilliant admins is in the house. Mark L. Early morning to all of you from Colorado. Good to see you, Mark. Kim O'Brien's in the house. I'm not sure Steve knows we're here. No, I didn't know. Yeah, you were there. I thought we were on the kind of starter video, but we're not. Kim O'Brien's one of the brilliant admins as well. Barbara McDonald, Ad Verhagen, RC, Steve McAlpine, Mark Innes. Crush the likes, everybody. This is just not prepared at all. We've got Eddie Holland in the house. JC Standard, Davey Stew, one of the brilliant admins. Stephen SS is in, Mac Pond and Davey Stew. Who's this guy who sounds like Steve? God knows. God knows. Right, okay, what's happening with the markets? We're in a little green today, which is a nice wee change. I'll just see if... Yeah, there's not that many people watching just because I'm not prepared. That's cool. That's cool. We'll just go ahead and see what's happening in the markets today. Okay, so Bitcoin is up to 6,378, which is good. I don't know if that's the right price or not. Oh, that's the longs. We'll just have a look at the Bitcoin price just now. USDT, Tether, 6,433. Has it just jumped up? Oh, shit. Right. I am going to close. Right, I'll tell you about that in a second. Right, I had a position open in BitMEX. I've just started trading on BitMEX and I had a position open, a long position from 6,318 and I've just closed it with $100 up at 25x. Wow, shit. Holy shit, right, okay. This is not a good live at all today. No, it's probably one of the best ones. I'll tell you about BitMEX in a second. Shit, that was really good actually. Right, okay, so market capitalization is 205 billion. Just now, which we're up. It was down below 200 billion. So it's gone up just now, which is fantastic. 24-hour volume, $13 billion dollars, and Bitcoin dominance is up to the highest it's been at 53.5%, which is really high, obviously. So people getting into Bitcoin just now, and we'll just see who the winners are. Bitcoin private 10x is up 21%, which is good. Nano, Metaverse, ETP, Zcoin, Ardor, Bitcoin Gold, Qtum, Syscoin, all in double digits. So we'll see if there's any losers. There's about 5. Yeah, Tether and True USD can't count. So 4% of the top 100 are in red. Dentacoin, Moac, Aurora, Archain is in the red at the moment. So that's good. So we're all in the green, nearly all in the green just now. Bitcoin price just now, 6,400. So it's kind of shot up. It did shoot up there just now. So I tried my hand at BitMEX trading, leverage trading yesterday for the very first time. I got out of PundiX at 22 Satoshi. So I got out of that in a kind of small position to put 1 Bitcoin or 0.98 Bitcoin in BitMEX, and I wanted to trade Cardano. I thought I was going to go long on Cardano and long on Tron as well on BitMEX. So I done that yesterday, and I was kind of down a wee bit with that, so I shorted Bitcoin as well from 6,113 to 6,066, and I've just went long this morning on Bitcoin. So I was down to about 0.8, so it lost about 0.18 of a Bitcoin, which is a couple of $1,000 nearly. No, it was about $1,500. But this morning I've just kind of got that back, and I'll just show you kind of BitMEX just now. BitMEX is crazy. If you've never used BitMEX, it's a crazy kind of place to be if you've never used it before. So the position in BitMEX just now, just going to see 1.07 Bitcoin. So started out with 0.98, went down to 0.8, and back up to 1.07 Bitcoin at the minute. So that's what I've been doing over the last couple of days. Just I've taken about 4 weeks to learn about BitMEX and everything I could about it, and I just had to close that market position, which wasn't good. I shouldn't have done that. I usually have a position to get out at, but I just seen it shooting up there, so I just got out. Order history. So I managed to get out at 6429 there, and that was $100,000 worth because I was trading at 25x. So I got in at 6318, out at 6429, but before that I was going short, and I kind of lost on that as well. So I was down to about 0.8, as I said, but we're back up again. So it's not for the faint of heart if you're trading on BitMEX. Definitely not for the faint of heart, especially if you're going 25x as well. Cardano, I tried to get in at 1356, but I just missed out on that, and that would have been a good position to get in a long. That was a 10x long as well. Okay, so we'll go back to chat just now. Davey Stew, feeling a lot better today. Good day, everyone. Stephen SS, good morning. Mark Paul and Davey Stew. Who's this guy? Sounds like Steve. Justin Churchill, morning all. Kim O'Brien, loving this live. Mark Innes, I'm enjoying it. Cole Phillips, morning. Deb is in the house. Welcome to you, Deb, one of our brown admins as well. Morning, everyone. Better Green Day. Stephen SS, how's BABB? Stephen, we're going to look at that in a wee second. IoT Financial is in the house as well. So we'll look at BABB just now. Where are they? Hopefully they've gone up maybe a Satoshi or two. No, they've not. So KuCoin, we'll just look on KuCoin just now and see what they're doing on there. Markets, and we'll look at BAX. I just wanted to see the open positions. Now it's still 8.9 Satoshi. I thought they might have went up with the market, but they've not gone up. In fact, they've gone down. They were 9.10 Satoshi yesterday, but they're 8.9 Satoshi now. So we're just waiting on news from BABB, so we're not going to expect a lot of movement from BABB just now, because we're waiting on news of the banking licenses, which could take a couple of months actually. Just see where the crowd funding is. 13,000 over, so a couple of people have pulled out of that because it was up to about 1.528 or something like that. So a couple of people have pulled back out of that before it actually finishes, but they've still got their funding, so it's all good there. News. What's the news? We're just going to look at that just now. Crypto panic, and go on to. So in crypto downturn, Coinbase is still signing up to 50,000 users a day. I kind of noticed that this morning as well. So it's just talking about Coinbase. We've talked about Coinbase for a while, just saying how good it's becoming for the crypto space as a whole. I thought at the beginning of the year it was just going to fade away, Coinbase, but they're doing a lot of things to attract institutional investors and kind of investors like you and I as well, traders like you and I as well. So that's actually quite good, although somebody's saying here this is data from a year ago during the bull run. It isn't reflective of what's happening now. This is misleading. Please read the article next time. Okay, so that's maybe a lot of bullshit. Coinbase says it was signing up 50,000 users a day. Right, so we need to have a kind of deeper look at that as well. What's the other news? Binance sell order, 16,404 ETC amount for That's okay. That's Ethereum Classic. Remember how jealous you were. Okay, 90%. So I'm just looking at the rising kind of articles just now. That looks interesting. Modeling through a bubble. Comparison of 2000.com bubble. Good currencies like gold. So yes, usually I'm really prepared for this because I kind of look at the news in the morning, but because the estate agents were coming around, I thought, okay, I'll let everybody know I'm not going to go live, and I'll just kind of get the house tidied and everything like that. So I think the house is tidy enough. We've been tidying it for the last 4 or 5 days with estate agents coming around and stuff like that, and painting as well. We were painting last night, the house. American Express AXP is officially using Ripple's X current. Arguments for understand X current isn't using XRP, the token. This is a great stepping stone for blockchain mass adoption as a digital asset, hoping for XRapid in the future. So this is about kind of the actual blockchain being used for, not the actual token kind of being used, as the blockchain technology behind it that's being used for American Express. Okay, I'm not going to do the news because I've not looked through it enough, so I'm just going to chat with you. We'll just stay and have a wee chat. So if you've got any questions or anything at all, just kind of put them in the chat area just now, and we'll just have a chat, see what happens. Never done this before. Usually look at the news and look at a few coins, and we'll do that as well. Honest Crypto Journey, good morning to you. Chris Noble, good morning. Mitch Dieter, good morning. Good green morning all. David Schwartz, hi Steve. Key showed up, really good today. Yeah, I thought, because we looked on Binance yesterday, and we said all the coins that were under 100 Satoshi were going to shoot up, and that's just kind of what's starting to happen just now. If we can sustain this BTC rise, just now, where's BTC just now? 6389, so got out just the right time there. Perfect timing. So we'll look on Binance, see what the top risers are. GRS is up 60%. That's Grossler coin. It was up much more than that. It was up about 80-90%. Key has risen to 102. Where was it before? I take it's taken a wee drop back down. We'll just look on the hourly chart. So it did go up to 111 from 72, so that was a good 40% rise, or 50%, more than that actually. And Sky has gone up as well. POE has gone up 15%. NPX. So we looked at the tokens under 500 Satoshi yesterday, and it was about 40 odds. So how many are under 500 Satoshi today? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's TRX. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, TNB, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 35 are now under 500 Satoshi. So that shows you the price jump. So there was about 40 odds under 500 Satoshi, now there's only 35. So a lot of them have gone up, those kind of low ones. Key, obviously the biggest one. Dent has gone up. PundyX has gone up as well. Hot has gone up. Po up 16% as well. So you're going to get a lot of these if the BTC kind of price kind of stabilizes and rises from here, but you just don't know what's going to happen with Bitcoin. That's the thing. You just haven't a clue what's going to happen. Who's QLC down to 650? Thought QLC would have done well. Just have a look at QLC just now. That's still going down. The minute it did go down to 587 for QLC, so we can expect a big rise in that kind of over the coming weeks, I would imagine as well. And that's probably pumping as well. There'll be pump and dump groups that kind of look at these, just say, okay, it's gone down way too much, and they'll start to kind of pump as well. But I expect some of that to be happening very soon as well, and that might be happening just now. Key, it's still going up. Key. So I wouldn't be buying at these prices necessarily, because it just jumped up that 50-60%. And again, this kind of crossover, the 715 crossover, could have gone at 73 Satoshi when it crossed over and that would have been good. You'll probably see that with all of the tokens, all of the projects on the kind of 1 hour chart and the 15-minute chart in particular. I think I like trading on the 15-minute chart. Yeah, 15-minute chart could have gone at 5597 and doubled your money there. So that would have been a good one to get into. So if you're in GRS, well done to you. Okay, we'll just go back to the chat. Mark Innes, oh, I love tidying the house. Not. Oh, he's just said not. Oscar Ray, hi Steve, do you think this capitulation will be the end of some cryptos for good? Name one you think will be dead for good. Name one I think will be dead for good. In the top 100? I don't know. Honestly don't know. It's hard to say what one is going to be dead for good, and I don't want to kind of mention one or any of them that's going to be dead for good. There's I think a lot of the kind of lower sat coins, not within Binance, I'm not talking about Binance, I'm not talking about the bigger ones, I'm talking about much smaller ones. But I've been saying before, we've got 6,700 projects on the go. All of them are not on CoinMarketCap, obviously, because they have to reach a certain kind of trading volume to get onto CoinMarketCap. But I think a lot of them will be dead, and you'll probably see maybe 1,000 kind of cryptos that will make it after the kind of capitulation period as well. So I don't think there's going to be 7,000 projects on the go, but the cream will rise to the top, and that's why I keep looking at the likes of Cardano, Neo, for example. So we'll just have a look at them just now. 6,404 for Bitcoin just now. So look at Ethereum has taken a huge beating just now. Where's it gone to? 284. So it's back up to 284 from 252. $252. So 7x, you could have got 76x to its all-time high from here. But that's been a good jump for Ethereum, a 15% jump for Ethereum. I think it was way oversold for Ethereum. Neo, I think, was down to about $13 at one point. And where's it doing today? And that's gone back up to $16.63, which is still really, really cheap for Neo compared to where it's been, up to $200 nearly as well. So it's still really cheap at that price. But it's just all in this BTC. We're just tied so much to the Bitcoin price just now. It's unbelievable. And that's why I say anytime you're going to make a position or go into a position on any of the kind of projects that you like, always look at the Bitcoin price and see where you think it's headed first, and that's when to take a position. When you think Bitcoin is going to go long, then that's when to take a position in your kind of project that you really like. Although these prices for Neo and Cardano and kind of Ethereum and projects like that, I think you're going to be safe anyway. Even if you don't look at the Bitcoin price, you're going to be safe at these prices anyway. It might go down in the short term, but long term, if you're really bullish on it, that's when I would kind of go in to that. Do you still hold Kin? And what's your thoughts on future development, possible price? Do you think it could also get to over 100 sats? Yes, I do think it can get to over 100 sats, but not in the very short term. I do still like Kin. I've not got any Kin left because I sold out a lot of my kind of projects because just everything was just a nightmare. So we're up at 2 Satoshi just now. Can we get to over 100 Satoshi? I do believe long term we can. If they keep on doing what they're doing just now and the kind of roadmap that they've got for Kin, I think they definitely could get to over 100 Satoshi, which is 50 times where it is just now. So you're talking about a $5 billion market capitalization. But once the kind of billions start coming in with the big institutional investors, I think Kin could be one of the ones that actually make it. They've got the big user base. They're doing all the right things. They've got a great leader as well, great team. So I think Kin could definitely do it. They're down to 127 just now. They have been lower, so they're up nearly 5% today. But I think Kin could do it. Where have they been? 8 Satoshi is kind of the highest they've been. with a market capitalization of $1 billion. So 4 times from here, but 100 sats, not in the short term, but long term, yes, I do think they could for Kin. MacPawn could not get any NPXS under 20, but got it 20, 21, 22, 23 and 24. Now we're capable of buying more if under 20. I mean, more money on it to cut my loss as soon as possible. Yeah, I think PundyX as well. I was in that, as I said, I got out of PundyX at 22 to start trading on BitMEX, which is an extremely dangerous thing to do. Obviously, I wouldn't kind of advise it to anybody unless you're experienced. It took me literally 4 weeks of kind of researching, but that was just getting the balls to actually go and do it. I think that's what the 4 weeks was for. I kind of knew what I was doing on BitMEX, but it just took that time to get the balls and actually do it. So now what I'll just be doing is trading on the 15-minute chart for Bitcoin. For PundyX, where are PundyX just now? 23.24. I think they were up at 25 at one point. Yeah, they got up to 25 Satoshi as well. So the sales are 107 million and the buys are 18. So it's kind of equal. So it might go up another Satoshi or two depending on the Bitcoin price. See what the Bitcoin price does. Still real love PundyX. I think for the long term it's a brilliant token, and that's the kind of reason for trading on kind of BitMEX as well. On leverage is to get more Bitcoin in order to kind of get projects like PundyX, for example. So I don't know how much I'd get for 24, 1.07 if I went in just now, 4.45 million. So I did have about 5 million PundyX. So I would have still lost on that, so I need to still make more on BitMEX. But I'm going to wait on the trade coming to me instead of me going to the trade for BitMEX. So there might still be a shorting opportunity on BitMEX as well. Go back to chat. So we're just chatting here. We're not, because I've not had time to look at the news because I didn't think I was going live. Crypto Dread, they got one today, 2 UTC time Binance, talking about pump and dump. Oh, right, for what coin? And what group is that? See, I like to be kind of look at the groups that are doing the pump and dumps, but there's not that many good groups there. Not with the intention of going in, it's just to see what they're doing and how they kind of operate as well. And I've kind of been in pump and dump groups before, just looking at looking at how they operate. But they do serve a kind of purpose. And the pump and dump groups, as much as I don't like them, they do kind of serve a purpose. Rob UK, BitMEX question, do you set up stop losses, Steve, there? Can you set up gain stop also there? You can set that up as well. So on BitMEX, just now, if we were going to go, so we've got usually kind of market order. You can do a limit order as well. So you say, okay, I want to get into kind of Cardano when it's 1435. So 1435 Satoshi. So you buy long and you'd set your kind of leverage trade there. So we'll click on that just now. So if we're going to 10x leverage, it would cost you for 10x 0.95 Bitcoin. But really what you're doing is trading with 9 Bitcoin because you're going 10x. So you have to be careful in that your liquidation price is 13.28. So if it goes down 13.28, you lose everything that you put into it. That's the danger of leverage trading. And that's why I didn't go into it lightly. It wasn't as if I kind of went in like a bull in a china shop and kind of went in. I didn't go into it lightly. So when I've been doing it, I've just been going 10x. Apart from with Bitcoin, you can go 100x, and I would never go 100x because the liquidation price is so close to where you're buying in as well. So I would normally go 10x if I was doing kind of Cardano or Tron or Ripple, for example. I would do, I think these are good longs to go into. But you have to be really careful of your estimated kind of liquidation price as well, which can change ever so slightly, but that is your liquidation price. So yeah, you can set limit orders, and you can once you've done that, you can actually change where you want to get out at as well. So you can say, okay, I'm going to close this position if Cardano gets up to 1800 Satoshi, for example. So if you're getting 10%, if it went up 10% from where you got in and you're on a 10x, it's really gone up 100%. So if you put in 1 Bitcoin and you're 10x long on it, you would get 1 Bitcoin back once you close the position. So you'd be 2 Bitcoin instead of 1 Bitcoin, but extremely risky. Definitely my opinion. And the troll box, I had to look at the troll box as well. They've got a troll box here as well, which is really funny to look at these, because they mostly talk about Bitcoin, and the shorts or the bulls and the kind of bears are in there looking at it, and it's just really funny to kind of watch all them. But some of them are really experienced traders, they know what they're talking about, but it's just your mind goes all over the place when you kind of look at that troll box. So just stick to your charts, or stick to your 15-minute charts, and just look at that. So if we were sticking to the 15-minute chart for ADA, for example, so I just got in at the wrong time for ADA. That's a 15-minute chart. So it would have got in here around about 1479. That would have been a position to take, and you could have got out at 1600, which is what, 140. It's about a 10%. You've got 10% gain on that. I will just see exactly. 9%. So instead of being 9%, it would be 90% in profit because you were 10x long. And then you would go short. You just look at the 15-minute chart. This is what I'm doing. I'm not saying you should do that if you're going to do it. You would go short at 1542 because the 7 MA has crossed over the 25 MA. This is just a simple trading strategy. You can look at RSI, you can look at everything else as well, but the simple trading strategy is just looking at the price on the Heikin-Ashi kind of chart. Normally look at the Heikin-Ashi, 1544 to get out, and you'd have been in the position still just now, and it's still 1537. So that's what I'm doing with kind of BitMEX just now. As I said, I did go long yesterday at 1452. When I first started trading, I went long at 1542. Sorry, no, 1452. Sorry, that was on the hourly chart. So it was coming up from here, but then it went back down again, unfortunately. So I got out before it kind of went down, and I took a big loss. So instead of being minus kind of 1.3%, I was minus 13%. So that's what you have to be really careful of. So it's just sticking to a system and a strategy as well. And my system would be the 15-minute 7 MA, 725 MA stop crossover on the sell side and the down sell and the up price as well. So I hope that helps, Rob. Dad's a booth morning, Steve. Nice green day. Bought some XRP, 26 cents yesterday. Yeah, I think XRP for the long term is going to be really, really good. I've been saying that for a while now. Whatever you think about it, I just think it's going to be good. Hello, just a friendly reminder, when gearing at BitMEX, you ought not to use more than 25x leverage, because then the odds of the liquidation versus bankruptcy price is statistically against you. I read, yes, definitely. So on BitMEX, I would never go. So we'll say, for example, on BitMEX, if you're going on BitMEX and you're going on Bitcoin, for example, if you were going to go long here, 6,400, we'll just see what that does to your liquidation price. So if we're going to go long at 25x, your liquidation price is 6,100. So if it went against you and it went down to 6,109, you'd be liquidated there. But if you went 100x, you'd be liquidated at 6,292. So you've only got $100 to play with. And as you know, Bitcoin price can shoot up $100 within a couple of seconds or within a couple of minutes even. So you have to be really careful. And trading at 100x, you're really trading with 15 Bitcoin, which is over $100,000. So you have to be extremely, extremely careful. And that's on a 0.18 actually. So you could actually go more than that. You could go probably $200,000. I'm just looking at market. If you're looking at the market, how much could you actually trade if you had 1 Bitcoin? $500,000. And we'll look at the 100x price. So if you're using your kind of everything there, you could get 500,000 contracts for XBT USD. For that, with a mark price of 6403, that means you're getting in at that. Well, it doesn't mean you say you're getting in that price. You're buying at market, so you're getting at 6399, but your liquidation price is 6368. So about 30 off from where you buy in. So you have to be extremely careful, and I would never, on Bitcoin, I would never go above 25x. Definitely wouldn't go above 25x on Bitcoin if you're trading on BitMEX. So it'd be a bit of a nightmare. So you have to be really, really careful. And if you're going to do it, I would just kind of do it with a 2xer or a 3xer if you're going to do that on BitMEX as well. ICOs are dumping their ETH. It could be that, yeah. It could be that all the kind of ICOs are dumping their ETH as well. Gene, what's up, folks? JC Stand on Twitter, someone said CBOE futures expires today. Do you think that's why BTC is up? Yeah, we mentioned that yesterday. So the futures does expire today. So all the people who had shorts out have to cover the position and go long, or just close the position. They don't go long, they just close the position. And we can take a look at the charts. If you've ever seen this on TradingView, I don't know if you've seen this before. You can see the shorts and the longs. So this is the shorts just now, and it's going up. It's good to keep an eye on this as well. So 35,765 BTC USD shorts. But on the long side as well, if we look at the long side, that'll be up as well, I would imagine. Longs. So you can see the longs for a long period, and we'll go on the hourly chart. And this is the long positions in Bitfinex. The long positions kind of down from around the 7th of August, big time, and here a big drop in the longs as well. That's obvious when the Bitcoin price dropped and everybody was going short. So you can see the longs. I've not got it just now. This is a kind of bull side. Looking at it, but it's gone up. It was down to about -2%, but it's gone up from today. That's because Bitcoin price has gone up, so a lot of people are going long instead of short. But still, a lot of people are coming in to go short as well at this time. So you have to be really careful. It's a jungle out there. Trading Crypto Guide on Telegram. They named the coin right at 2, so I'm sure they get in pre-pump. Ah, right, okay, that's for the Pump and Dump group. David Marquez, it's Nano a good long-term investment? Nano, a difficult one with Nano. I think it is a good long-term investment, but what is long-term? What do you class as long-term? So if we look on the daily chart for Nano, it's kind of all-time low, or near its all-time low just now. So you'd think, looking at that, psychologically you'd think, well, it's all-time low, this is a good time to buy, but you never know if it's going to go lower or not. But long term, I think it could be a really good prospect for it. And if we go up to, it's 10 times where it has been as kind of all-time high. So I think it's a good long-term investment, but obviously you need to do your kind of research on that as well. David Chardan, morning all, let's spike those likes. Yes, crush the likes everybody if you like these videos. Tim Moores, I'm holding backs, TEL, TRX, Pundy, Kin, SNTR, XRP and DGTX. Thoughts on this as a portfolio? A risky kind of portfolio. You've got some good ones in there, but you've got, it depends on your risk kind of strategy as well. What are you prepared to risk? XRP I think is a good long-term investment. Some of the smaller ones, TEL, BACS, obviously they're risky. It doesn't matter what we think of BACS and BABB, what we think about it. What we're doing is we're investing in these companies in the hopes that they reach their targets on the roadmap. So we're really, if we think about it and just being honest about it, we're really kind of hinging our hopes on BABB, the company, getting those banking licenses. And what we do there is we look at the team, we look at kind of the use case scenario, and we look at the roadmap as well, just to see what they're going to do. And we're really taking a risk, obviously, based on what we know fundamentally. They haven't got a product yet. They're not bringing in money yet, like PundyX, for example. So it is riskier to go into companies like that just now. With XRP is established, they're established, and we know a lot of kind of banks and stuff like that are going to be using them. And using the underlying technology as well. So it just depends on how that's going to affect the XRP price, because Ripple as a company is different from XRP as a token. We have to remember that as well. So it's a risky portfolio, I'd say. Pundy, I think, is less risky. Tron, I think, is less risky as well. TEL, BAX, SNTR, DGTX could be riskier as well. So you've got a good kind of risky-ish portfolio as well there. So it could give you 100x returns on it, but if one of them drops out, the others should pull it back up, if that makes sense. So I would have probably more Bitcoin in there, more of kind of top coins in there as well, but it's still a good portfolio. It looks like a good portfolio. My point, maybe I'm wrong. I invest only in few coins. If down at 10%, I buy more 10% more. But buy for 100 USD first time, buy for 110 USD after that, down 10%. Is that wrong? It's a good strategy. Your dollar cost averaging down, that's what you're doing. So if you believe in a company like PundyX, I know you're in PundyX, Mark Paulin, if you believe in it, and I think it's a good investment for PundyX, if you believe in it, dollar cost averaging down is good. But I wouldn't necessarily go for 10% more because it's down 10%. I would just put in $100 at a time and just dollar cost average down the way, that way as well. Brad Wells, someone shifted 800 BTC to BitMEX today. Wonder what they plan to do. 18,000. So what wasn't 1800? It's 18,000. Yeah. So you wonder if they're going to sell that or what's on the sell side. So it changes that much. We've got a 2 million kind of sale there. And the buys. So we need to wait and see how this is going to go. But short term it looks as if it's kind of going up. But the sellers here, you can see the sellers, the kind of sell wall. So it looks as if it's going to come down short term within the next couple of minutes or so. It'll come back down to below 6,420. It's probably going to start any second now. So it's a kind of crazy place to be, BitMEX. But there is sales coming up. If we look at the kind of sales side as well, this is all the kind of sales side, and this is the buy side. So what the big ones? One of the big ones is a 2 million sale. 2 million. That's a 2 million contract sale, so it's $2 million worth. But it's not other big ones after that. The buy side. It's going a bit slow just now. So there's 500,000 just now. That's fairly big. 860,000. 6405, 1 million. So it's kind of even just now. It's hard to predict Bitcoin price is going to go up from here or down from here because the buys and the sales, this is on BitMEX, buys and the sales are relatively even. That's kind of on Bitfinex. That's really taking the prices from Bitfinex. Christopher A, I have to go here. Have a nice day, everyone. As Ellen says, be kind to one another. Yes. Thanks for joining us, Christopher A. Really appreciate you being here. And sorry it was so kind of unprofessional, but it's real. That's the thing. It's real. G-Slick, Dent, Pundy, and bags filled to max capacity. LOL. Excellent. Excellent. I think Dent have got a really good chance of making it as well. Same with Pundy and same with Bax as well. Bitcoin looks bearish on the 4-hour RSI. Stephen Tucker. I don't really use the RSI, to be honest, because I just like looking at the price action, and that's why I just use the 725. But if we look at the RSI as well and look at the 4-hour, we'll kind of change that style. We'll go green. Okay, and we'll go 4-hour. BTC USDT and the 4 hours. Yeah, it's coming up to what, 57? 57, so it still could go higher from here. And on the 4 hour, it's just crossed over. The 725 has just crossed over, so it looks, me looking at that on the 4 hour chart, I'd say that's going higher from here. But you're right, on the RSI, it's gone a little high as well. But you can see on the RSI here, we got up to 90, so it's not overbought. It's not an overbought territory just now, but it's kind of climbing up there as well. So you just need to keep a careful eye on it. But to me, that looks as if it's going to go higher just now. Mad Pawn, thanks Steve for the lovely stream. One more time, wish you all a wonderful day. You as well, have a brilliant day, Mad Pawn. Good to have you here. Brad Welsh, hope they buy 1800 BTC worth of Komodo. I don't think they're trading Komodo on BitMEX, so they're not trading Komodo on BitMEX. So did they transfer from BitMEX or did they transfer to BitMEX? Is that what you meant, Brad? Markinus, mate, what do you think about the new VeChain token? Is it a hold? Yes. I like VeChain a lot and I think it's got a lot of potential as well. Oh, that's VET USDT, we don't want that. VET, Bitcoin, Binance. So it's not looking brilliant just now. I totally admit that. I get that just now. But for a long term hold, so this VeChain Thor we were kind of talking about here, this is the new, it's not the new one, but they've just kind of changed it over to VeChain Thor. So for the long term, I definitely do like VeChain. And at these prices as well, I think it's definitely one of those projects that can make it. That's my kind of thoughts on VeChain as well. I think it is one of the ones that can make it. Where is it just now? $500 million market cap. Obviously it's been higher than that before, nearly up to $1 billion market cap. But I think it's ranked 21 just now. I think it's one of those projects that are definitely going to make it, and I think they are doing a lot in the background as well. So they're constantly working on in the background. If you look at GitHub as well for VeChain, they're constantly working on it. So I do like VeChain, yeah, for the long term. Christopher Dalson, way too many shorts, prepare for a BTC pump. Yeah, there's going to be a short somewhere. There's going to be a lot of kind of bears out there just rubbing their hands together, looking at this price for Bitcoin and going to try and short it from here. CB Norwood, anybody else here use Coin Paprika? Never heard of Coin Paprika. What's Coin Paprika? Coin research platform. Oh, there's another one of these. No, I use Coin Checkup, which looks similar to Coin Checkup, but never use Coin Paprika. So 1 out of 24. So we go to Coin Checkup as well. This is a good site to use. It's very similar to Coin Paprika, but I think it's got a lot more. You can filter it, you can customize the tables and things like that as well. But I've never looked at, we've got filters here, return rates. Bitcoin return rate. I quite like that. Stellar return rate. 1251%. Have we got enough time in the camera? Yeah, we have. What's been the lowest? 10x. I've been in 10x for over a year. Minus 83%. Shocking. Shocking. Thanks for that though, Coin Paprika. I'll put the kind of link up to that as well after the kind of video finishes. Good morning everybody. Brock Oyibo, Brad Welsh, to BitMEX, right? So you can buy Komodo on BitMEX. So on BitMEX, the ones that you can kind of buy for the contracts, we go to trade. So this is another thing about BitMEX as well. They've not got that many tokens. It's just too slow just now. I'll just get rid of that. So we've got Bitcoin, Cardano, Bitcoin Cash, EOS token, Ethereum, Litecoin, Tron and Ripple. That's what they've got on BitMEX just now. So it's a very fast-paced kind of moving site, especially with Bitcoin. Cardano, where is that? I still want to get in Cardano, but I don't think I'm going to get them at buy price. Definitely not. The sales are kind of bigger there, so maybe coming down. And another thing with this as well, with the futures kind of contracts for the likes of Cardano, it's not kind of the market prices. So it's 1540 on BitMEX. I'm just going to see how much it is on 1530. So there's a price difference between the likes of Binance and BitMEX as well. So on the 15-minute chart, looks as if it's going to cross over and go up actually. Jacobus Van Beek, hi Steve, do you think 2017 highs were due to uneducated investors in an infant market? Will prices rise much slower in the next bull run, even when the big money and ETFs come in? No, I think what's going to happen is a lot of people are looking at the alts. In 2017, a lot of people are looking at the alts and seeing the massive returns on the alts. And obviously they're kind of wanting Bitcoin at the kind of lower prices as well. And kind of newbies coming in, just heard about Bitcoin and they were buying Bitcoin. That's where it went up to $20,000. But they were buying the alts as well and seeing the massive pumps. What I think is going to happen on this bull run, I think there's going to be a bull run of Bitcoin, but there's not going to be a huge massive pumps on the altcoins this time. You're still going to get the pumps. You're still going to get the kind of good projects that are really working. I think they're really going to come up, but you're going to start to see a lot of tokens kind of disappear off the face of the earth as people sell them and just get rid of them, and I think they'll go down the tubes. But the cream of the crop will still rise to the top, and that's what you're going to see. You're going to see the runs of the altcoins as well. So we're going to have another altcoin run, but I think it's going to be mainly a BTC run, a big bull run, and that's because I think that people are going to want to kind of hodl Bitcoin and get as much Bitcoin as they can, which what we should be doing as well, trading alts. We want as much Bitcoin as well as we can. That's what we should be doing as traders, because it's Bitcoin that's kind of driving all of this. It really is Bitcoin that's driving it. And if in 10 years time we're not using the US dollar, the UK pound or the euro or anything like that, and we're using Bitcoin as well, it might be kind of Bitcoin backed or something like that. I don't know how it's going to work, but it's clear that fiat is not working just now. Very clear that that's not working. So I think cryptocurrencies is the answer. Totally think it's the answer and 100% believe that. And I think it's going to be Bitcoin that everybody's going to be clamoring to get, and that's what's going to drive the prices up. So I think more so than ever, Bitcoin is going to be the one that they go for instead of the altcoins. So 2017, it was kind of year of the alts, as well as Bitcoin obviously went up to $20,000, but I think this time around it's going to be mainly Bitcoin that it's focused on. Black Label 46, Kin is really cheap at the moment, a good way to buy a large amount of them. I can see them doing well by the end of the year. Definitely, I think Kin are going to do well. Johnny V, Steve, how do you stay positive in a market like the last couple of weeks? I just stopped watching, could not take it anymore. I know exactly what you mean, Johnny V. I know exactly what you mean. You let go. You have to let go of the outcome and just accept that whatever's going to happen is going to happen. It's really, really difficult, especially, and I'm going to be honest here, when I was kind of up at $500,000 for the portfolio and it's down by kind of 90%. Just although I've taken money out, so any money I'm making just now is all pure profit. I put $20,000 in when I sold the website in June 2017, and I've taken out about $50,000. So I'm still up 200%, even if I lost everything from here. I'm still up 200% from last year, which you're never going to get in a bank. You're never going to get that kind of return. And the tokens I hold just now, the likes of BABB and a couple of other ones as well, if they go big and we can make a lot of money from them as well. If they don't and I lose everything, then I have to kind of park that and let it go and just kind of put it to just say, okay, it was a good time. I had a good time in cryptos, an adventure. That's it. If I lose everything, I lose everything. But if you put money in that you can't afford to lose, that makes a different story altogether. And that's when you look at the portfolio and go, holy shit, I'm in deep shit here. So I think it depends on if you can afford to lose it. If you lost everything, what would be the worst case scenario? Just ask what is the worst case scenario, but conversely ask what the best case scenario is. That all the alts start to go on a run, your BABB starts to kind of shoot up, it goes up to 1 cent, 5 cents or whatever. We have a BABB at the castle party. Just stuff like this. So it's about your kind of attitude to look at it and just let things go and just trust that whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen. It's meant for a reason as well. I really believe that. I know that's kind of a bit out there, but I really do believe that everything happens for a reason. And if you lose all your crypto, it's happened for a reason. You can just step away. So if I'd lost everything just now, obviously I'd just need to look at kind of crypto and just go, okay, I tried it, didn't work out. I'm going to go back and really totally focus on the business 100%. probably to get more crypto. Stephen Norwood, cheers. I'll check out the Coin Checkup too. Need all the help I get. Coin Checkup is a good site. Mark Innes, thanks Steve. I couldn't follow what was happening there. VAT. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. Brad Welsh, I saw it this morning while watching Crypto Bitcoin Chris. He's pretty good to listen to, as are you. Thanks very much, Brad. I like Bitcoin Chris as well. I think he's really good. I like to listen to his kind of news updates as well. So he's really good. So would you sell all LTC to get BTC or hold? For LTC, I think it's going to go back up. LTC, is it going to be one for the long term? I think it is. A lot of people are saying LTC is dead, as is Ethereum and kind of ones like that as well. But just what they're doing and their kind of place in the ecosystem or the crypto system, if you will, I think they're still very much here to stay for the likes of LTC, kind of Ethereum, Neo, Cardano's up and coming. I think that's going to do really well. So not necessarily. I think the big projects like Ethereum, Litecoin, Neo, and kind of other ones like that are going to be big. This is the ones I'm talking about. The cream of the crop are going to rise to the top along with BTC as well. So what ideally would be great if we had a top kind of 500. Kind of like the stock market as well. Obviously you've got thousands of kind of projects in the stock market as well. But like the stock markets, you've got a top 100 index. You'll have a top 250. And then you'll have kind of smaller ones who are kind of going into ETFs, and the kind of fund managers are buying them for long-term growth, and the riskier strategy ones. So that's what I think is going to happen to the market within a couple of years. That's what I kind of hope happens to the market within a couple of years. JC Standard, so my BTC now, setting my next BTC buy order at 6150. Hope to catch it again. So where is BTC just now? 6424. Just now, so it's a good kind of sell price. So it might be that we've hit a kind of, this is on a 4-hour chart. If we look at here for Bitcoin, $6,440 looks to be resistance on the 4-hour chart. So it might bounce back down from here, and then it might start trading within a channel. So we need to wait and see. So it might trade within these. So if it breaks that, then you'd look at buying again. If it breaks kind of 6422. No, 6440, sorry. If it breaks that, then you'd look at buying again. If it breaks out of that, if it kind of breaks down below 5969, then you'd look at kind of selling. But that's a big kind of channel to look at, and that's on a 4-hour as well. Man, hard to watch tonight. Internet keeps dropping out. I will smash a like now just in case. Oh, thanks, Brad. I don't know what's happening. Is it kind of dropping out for everybody? Is it just your kind of internet? I don't know. Booze and more booze, yeah. When you're watching markets go down. No, I think it's time to walk away when your portfolio is going down and down and down. It's just time to walk away and just forget about crypto, because we become a little bit obsessed with it, kind of checking it all the time. And it's good just to get away from it and just go do your thing, go live life, and stop checking crypto altogether. If you're in stuff for the long term, just accept it will go back up eventually. As to how much it's going to go up to, you don't know, obviously, but maybe it's time to walk away. Gene, cheers, Stephen. Really appreciate your thoughts. Another brilliant show. Thanks very much. Not as good as the usual. Irish and sketchy. I put 5k on ADA. I believe that would ride the BTC on its climb. I think ADA's going to go up. I think it's a really good one to go up. Marcus Shafari is in the house, Steve. So were you 500,000 up last year? I was also like, is that 1 million or... You were 1 million, no, 100,000 up last year and 90% loss now. Seems everyone got the same hit. Yeah, because we didn't really know what we were doing. A lot of people that got in 2017 and they kind of got in the bull run up, and it was going up to $18,000, $20,000, and we thought, holy shit, this is going to go even higher. Everybody was talking about going up to 50,000, 100,000. And we think, okay, we'll keep it just now. And then there was a massive drop. And then when it went down, we thought, okay, this is near the bottom. It's probably going to go back up from here, but it just kept on going down and down and down. Knowing what I know now, I'd have done it totally different. I'd have traded differently. I wouldn't have hodled. I'd got out a lot of projects as well. I'd just do it totally different now if I knew what I know now back then. Just kind of crazy. So the hodl strategy definitely doesn't work unless you're buying at a really low kind of Bitcoin price. The hodl strategy doesn't work. So if Bitcoin was to shoot up to $50,000, I definitely wouldn't be buying any alts at that kind of price. You'd start looking at buying the alts just now, because we do think Bitcoin is going to go up to $50,000. So Atif, yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I was up to $500,000. As I said, I took about $40,000-$50,000 out. So it's really kind of 450. I probably took out more than that actually. So it's down to about 55, 56, 55, 60 just now. So it's shit, to be honest, but you've got to stay positive and just think it's going to go back up, or if it all goes the wrong way, you just get out of the market altogether. You just think, okay, I've had an adventure. It was a good one while it lasted. CB Norwood, reception is fine here. Excellent. Mark Innes, big smiley face. Brad Wells, Turkish people looking at BTC of safe haven while the currency collapses. Iran may be as well. I think a lot of countries are going to do that. I really do. And I think that's why Bitcoin price is going to shoot up at some point. Trading it just now, but would love to hold it for the long term. On the likes of kind of BitMEX, but I think they'd go bankrupt if everybody kind of done that. But you're always going to have bears and bulls. Honest Crypto Journey, could you do a short video on trading on BitMEX? Used to trade the Forex, seems fairly similar in being able to go long and short unless I'm missing something. That's exactly what it's for. Honest Crypto Journey, that's what it's for. It's just for going, because as traders we should be able to go short and go long as well. On the likes of Binance, all we're doing is going long kind of all the time. We're just buying to go long all the time, but we should be able to short as well as traders. But it's just a scary place to be on BitMEX. So it's up to 6460 just now. I'm still glad I got out when I did. It's 6429. So what I'll do is I'll wait on the trade coming to me. So I'll look at the prices and wait on the trade coming to me instead of me going to the trade. So it looks as if it's going to break that price. And on the 4 hour, the 7 hours crossing over the 25. So it might be a good time to kind of buy. And the RSI, I honestly don't really pay attention to the RSI. I just look at the kind of price action just now. And same with the Heiken Ashi as well. I could do a video. I don't know if I'd recommend it if you're kind of newbie. But obviously, if you're not, if you've traded Forex before, you'll know that's a really fast moving market as well. Mark Innes, we will be a lot wiser this time anyway. Yes, we will be. CB Norwood, hopefully we'll get another chance to do it right this time. Hopefully. And this is why I think now, when the Bitcoin price is so low, now would be the good time to look at the good projects and buy the alts from here. It still might go down in the short term. If we go down to 5,800 or 5,000, but it's not going to be as risky as buying the alts when Bitcoin price was up to $20,000. Atif, well, thanks for sharing. I'd just kind of wear my heart on my sleeve. I'll just tell you the truth and be honest. I know a lot of people say you shouldn't do that, but I'll just tell you and be honest. Black Label is a safe stable coin on Bancor. I've never traded on Bancor for a while, so I don't know. If I'm being really honest, at the moment, I've never traded on it for a while. I mean, I used to love Bancor as well. I used to do the kind of Bancor trading strategy as well, and just look at the Bancor cycle. With Ken, especially with backs as well, you could trade on their kind of always came in cycles on Bancor, but I don't know if that strategy will work from here on in. Okay, I think that's it for today. Sorry, this was so kind of unprofessional. I wasn't going to do a live today. As I said, we're selling the house, or we're looking to sell the house and move to a smaller flat because the boys have moved out and the boys have got their own flats. They've had the flats for a while, and sadly my father-in-law's not here as well. So he used to stay with us, but he's kind of passed away recently. So we're looking to sell up. This is just too big a house for us now. So it'll just be me, my mentor dog, and my wife that will be moving, and we'll move to a smaller flat. We'll always have a bedroom for the boys, so we're trying to get a 3-bedroom flat in the west end of Glasgow. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So I better get ready for this estate agent coming. So I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, hopefully. And hopefully the markets go well for you today, and just be careful out there, and I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, namaste. Take care. Bye now.